Hello, fellow educators. Today we're exploring a classroom assessment technique called application cards. As someone who works with early childhood educators and being in the early years field, I will demonstrate how this type of assessment can be utilized with early childhood educators and early learning professionals. Let's begin. As early childhood educators who care for children, families, and community, we need to know many things. Milton Mayeroff encapsulated this idea, and I quote, "We sometimes speak as if caring did not require knowledge, as if caring for someone, for example, were simply a matter of good intentions or warm regard. But to care, I must understand the other's needs, and I must be able to respond properly to them. And clearly, good intentions do not guarantee this. To care for someone, I must know many things." Before we focus on the application cards, let us define classroom assessment. Angela and Zagrajak mentioned that classroom assessment is a simple, practical approach to getting and giving feedback to improve the effectiveness and quality of teaching and learning. So, when students learn foundational principles and theories, instructors and teachers need to assess the depth of their understanding. So, one of the classroom assessment techniques that can be used is application cards. This technique prompts students to think about the possible relevance of the way they are learning. According to Bloom, to, to successfully apply knowledge to the real world, students must be able to develop a plan, propose a solution to compute, demonstrate, use, or solve. Theoretically, a student must attain the ability to apply knowledge before the more advanced learning objectives of analysis, synthesis, and evaluation can be achieved. Application cards can show teachers how well students understand possible and practical uses of what they have been taught and learned. Valentine and Freeman listed several ways for social work students to apply knowledge, and that would be role play, experiential exercises, and field placement assignments. They also use and evaluate the application cards as a teaching tool designed um, to check students' ability to apply knowledge in social work practice classes. These opportunities to apply knowledge to practice require students to become reflective learners. Reflective learning refers to ways that individuals use knowledge, theory, and skills to successfully engage problems encountered in the field. The Handbook for Embedded Formative Assessment shares insights that students should be taking more responsibility for their own learning so that over time they are able to manage their own learning as well as, or even better than any teacher could. In other words, in psychological jargon, they become self regulating learners. So, what principles drive application cards? Angelo and Zacharchuk listed. It is an active learning concept, a practical knowledge application, a critical thinking development, and real world skill integration. They also noted the following limitations. So, some application of knowledge may be dangerous, unethical, or illegal. Students may come up of incorrect applications as well. It can also be time consuming to design and assess. It may also challenge students with limited practical experience, and there is also a potential for subjective assessment. So students from diverse backgrounds may have a very different perspectives on appropriate applications of information learned in class. It may also overwhelm, like application cards may also overwhelm beginners or novice learners. But on the other side, let's look at the advantages. It can be used in almost any course. It can be adapted in any level of study. It, it is also immediate theory practice connection, engages critical skill development, and also encourages creative problem solving. What are the best practices for the application cards classroom assessment technique? Going back to Valentine and Freeman's study, they designed and incorporated all the elements of the application cards, which are there should be a prompt, then a response, and then the feedback. It looks like this. So, this is an example of how they created the application cards. They would have on one page the concept that they wanted students to apply, and then a space for students to answer, and then the last would be feedback. How can feedback be done in application cards? Then teachers can provide specific constructive comments. They can also encourage peer review. They can also offer opportunities for revision and make sure that it is given in a timely, detailed manner, and also to highlight strengths and improvement areas. And of course, don't forget to encourage reflection. And that is the application cards, a classroom assessment technique. Thank you.